Good morning. Welcome to Temple Buddhist Center's Sunday meditation service. I'm Kristen, and I'm honored to be of service this morning. We hope our service this morning finds you happy and healthy, but know that if you are struggling, we hope that Temple Buddhist Center can be a source of refuge for you as we open our hearts to you and to your loved ones. Let's begin this morning with a few conscious breaths, taking a few moments to ground, to experience the body and breathe together. Conscious breathing is where you seal the mouth, breathe deeply through the nose, and pause for a moment before releasing slowly so that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Let's begin. Breathing in, pausing just a moment, feeling the fullness of the lungs, releasing slowly. And as you release, checking with the body, just being aware of what is present and alive in the body right now. A second conscious breath, pausing just a moment, ventilating this precious human form, then releasing slowly. As you release, see if you can release any worry or concerns about the week. All the energy of doing, going, striving, accomplishing. Just allow yourself a few moments to cultivate the energy of not doing. A third conscious breath together, releasing slowly. And as you release, taking time to invite into you the awareness of the present moment, fully arriving here and now. Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we like to begin service with a chant. Chanting is an integral part of every tradition. And it's not about being a singer. It's about having a voice. Our chant today is Om Vajrapani Hum. Victor will lead this chant for us this morning. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Kristen. Good morning, everyone. Our chant this morning is Om, as Kristen said, Om Vajrapani Hum. And Vajrapani is the bodhisattva of the power of love. And so we'll chant this together this morning, and the kids have joined us. We'll have that energy to add into it. Christine, if you'll tone us in. Together. Om Vajrapani Hum. 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 Once more. Om Vajrapani Hum. And so the kids have joined us this morning. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, kids. What are you guys doing today?
Good morning. We are looking at some of the history of Buddhism and doing some gratitude practice.
Oh, wonderful. Looking at some of the history of Buddhism and doing some gratitude practice. Well, I, for one, am grateful for you guys for being here. And you know what else I'm grateful for? I was walking up the aisle this morning and I found an acorn. I know, right? But there it was. It's a gift nonetheless, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Tiffany.
Here at Temple Buddhist Center, we practice Western Buddhism, a blend of Eastern philosophy and Western psychology. This new and exciting form of spirituality is dynamic, inclusive, active, and focuses on core Buddhist insights, mindfulness, meditation, and their practical applications to our everyday life. Our goal here is not to get everyone to agree on one lineage or psychology. Rather, it's on cultivating a shared experience of mindfulness, oneness, and love. Whether we are chanting, meditating, or sharing from the heart, we respect that you'll participate only at the level that feels comfortable for you. We take refuge in the three jewels and acknowledging these core values as expressions of the awakened mind, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We value awareness of our own Buddha nature as well as the Buddha nature of all beings, allowing a new perspective of this and every precious moment. The second jewel is the Dharma, the truth teachings that release us from fear and delusion and help us realize who we really are. And Sangha, the spiritual community, all of us, the essential part of growth where we practice the teachings together and support each other along every step of the path. Please, let's take a moment to silence any electronic devices and prepare for a meditative environment. Let's prepare for the refuge. We'll recite this together 3 times. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom. For the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. As we enter our time of meditation, if you have an extensive practice, then I invite you to practice in that way that is fitting for you. This morning, if you are new to meditation, then we will begin with an opening dedication. We will sound the bell 3 times. There will be a brief guided meditation, and then we will spend approximately 12 to 15 minutes in noble silence. Let's begin by breathing together. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness, I send my heart with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness, transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow, and realize the true nature of who they are.
And so as the sound of the bell decays, showing us the way, moving us more deeply into stillness. Whatever you need to do to assist the form in relaxing even further, perhaps another conscious breath, a shift in posture, or a gentle stretch. Partnering with the body to become more relaxed, gentle, spacious, and easy. And as the breath settles into its natural flow, its natural rhythm, we bring our awareness to the rise and fall of the tummy. Noticing on the in-breath and noticing on the out-breath, without manipulating our breathing, just allowing it to be natural. And this is how we can remain connected to the breath. And so connected to the breath, the body is gentle, easy, and light. We can bring our awareness now to awareness itself. Noticing when the mind becomes aware of a sound, perhaps inside the room or out in the hallway. When we notice that the mind has become distracted by a sound, gently and lovingly, we just return to the breath. You might become aware that the mind has been distracted by a sensation, like an itch, an ache, or a tummy rumble. When you notice this, again, lovingly and gently return to the breath without any story, commentary, or decision-making. We just notice and return. Notice and return. You might become aware that the mind has been distracted by a thought. Like the other things, thoughts just come and go, they rise and fall, they simply appear and disappear. When we notice that the mind has been distracted by a thought, lovingly return to the breath, because the breath is always in the present moment, and so is a great teacher. And so connected to the breath, the body is light, spacious, and easy. The mind is clear, yet receptive to whatever arises. And the heart is open. We can move even more deeply into the stillness. I close my eyes and I see clearly. I stop trying to listen and I hear truth. I am silent, yet my heart sings. I seek no contact and find union. I am still and move forward. I am gentle and need no strength. I am humble, and remain whole, returning again and again to the breath, returning again and again home. And so I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of sound, noticing the sound of my voice, or the sound of the air handlers or rustling in the room. And as you become aware of the sense door of sound, can you also maintain 5% of your awareness on the stillness within? Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of touch, noticing the feeling of your clothing upon your skin, or the feeling of the chair or the cushion beneath you. And as you explore this sense door of touch, at the same time, can you maintain 5% of your awareness on that which is formless, awareness of awareness? Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the sense door of sight as you slowly begin to open your eyes, letting in some light. Just letting the objects and the things come to you. And as you become aware of things, objects and stuff, at the same time, can you keep 5% of your awareness on the space around them, in and through? Space around the room, the building. Next, I invite you to bring your awareness to the breath as we take a conscious breath together. Holding for a moment and releasing slowly. And as you release, become present in the here and the now, in this time, in this place.
Let's take a moment to embody the teachings before we move into our loving kindness. Never mind, I'm new here. We'll do that after Dharma talk.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Kristen. Good morning, everyone. Welcome you all. It's nice to see a robust Sangha this morning. We also want to welcome all of our friends joining us online over the magic of the media and the live streaming. And, you know, I actually had a little story that I was going to open with this morning on today's Dharma talk. And, but you know, when I was talking to the kids who joined us for chanting, I wasn't kidding about the acorn. I really did find this acorn when I was walking up the aisle this morning as we were preparing. And, you know, there was certainly a time in my practice where I would have been, oh gosh, you know, who was supposed to clean the meditation hall, or who's bringing acorns into the meditation hall? But I was just filled with joy. I was filled with gratitude for many reasons. Number one, an acorn. I mean, if Mother Nature would pack all the knowledge and information of a 1,000-year-old, 100-foot-tall oak tree into this, how much more has she done for us? And the talk today on habit energy In the Plum Village tradition, they talk about habit energy as seeds in our consciousness. And when that seed gets watered, it sprouts. And it depends on how much we water it as to our conditioning, as to our patterns of speech and behavior. So we're constantly working with what seeds are we watering in each and every moment that we are awake. And so I instead decided, well, okay, there it is. I used to giggle and laugh and tell my teacher about synchronicities. It's like, oh my gosh, the synchronicities are everywhere and they're all so amazing. And he's like, yeah, that's actually the way of the universe. It's not seeing the synchronicities, it's the unconsciousness, it's the being asleep that is what is different. And so the synchronicities are the way of the universe. I still have to laugh at them though, they still bring me a lot of joy. So let's talk about this morning habit energy. In Sanskrit, the term is Vasana, or habit energy. And habit energies are the cumulative mental and emotional imprints of prior habitual thoughts and actions. And of course, as we all know, they can be positive or negative, right? Habit energy, however, is not the same as routine or ritual. There is a very clear distinction. Habit energy is the lowest of the three on the scale of energy and consciousness. Habit energy tends to be unconscious. Next would be what we might call routine. Brushing our teeth, taking care of the form in the morning, taking care of our furry family members, all the routines that we encounter each and every day, those can be very conscious. You can be absolutely aware that you are brushing your teeth or you're opening the can. And ritual is the highest of those three. Ritual involves a deeply devotional aspect to what you're doing. In other words, imbuing your action with the sacred. So it's an extremely conscious action. So today I want to talk about habit energy though. It is negative habit energy, right? The positive habit energy we don't really need to deal with a whole lot because that's all going well. But the negative habit energy is a lot like a time bomb. And these powerful imprints, they lay dormant in our consciousness until triggered by our own or other people's words or actions. So what I'm pointing at here this morning is really taking a kind of a quick look at reactivity, our reactions. So sure, we can also include in there other issues, you know, bad habits, but first and foremost is probably that reactivity part or aspect of our daily conscious interactions with the world. Unleashed, negative habit energies tend to make us do what we don't want to do and say what we don't want to say. Even in the Bible, St. Paul is quoted as saying, "I do not understand this body. It does not do what I want and does instead what I hate." So obviously this is an issue that has been around for a very long time. Habits have a collective nature as well as an individual one. When King George II heard the Hallelujah chorus in the first performance of Handel's Messiah, he was so moved that he stood up. And of course, when the king stands up, well, everybody stands up. And so everyone stands, and to this day, no matter how the performance is done, the whole audience generally tends to stand. And while this is a harmless convention, of course, it does have implications. Societies can equally create this habit energy, and they can be quite destructive. Habits of racism, habits of hatred, revenge, divisiveness. Happily, negative habit energies can be transformed by mindfulness and compassion. Mindfulness and compassion, if are used and to help us transform these energies into awakened experiences. Mindfulness, compassion. However, if you are used to battling, of course, with yourself, beating yourself up over your negative habit energies, well, even that's a habit, right? We can get into the habit of constantly turning on ourselves for something that was said, for something that was done. So today, what I want to offer is perhaps a more loving, a more gentle, an easier, lighter, compassionate way of approaching habit energies, or Vasana. One of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this today is because of my own habit energies, and it has arisen for me in several ways now. I recently caught myself reacting to a conversation in which I was being trolled, and I said something that I later regretted. Now remember, our path is not to change and transform the external world, to fix, change, repair, or anything else to the trolls of the world. Our path instead is the path of compassion and recognizing the habit patterns. That's our job. Recognizing the habit patterns when they arise in us. Because in that way, we transform these into love, compassion, and it is the love and compassion that will then impact, let's say, the trolls of the world, so to speak. Also, I seem to have fallen into a somewhat unhealthy pattern of late night YouTubing and chocolates. Not sure when that started, but probably some sort of a quarantine thing, and it just kind of, I kept watering that seed, and wow, talk about a 100-foot oak tree. So, all of these things have arisen for me, and so I then felt compelled, actually Friday night, to change and get rid of the talk that I was going to do, and instead bring in this talk that was more alive for me, that was more real for me. So we practice generating the energy of mindfulness. That's what we're doing, right? We're constantly coming back to the breath, constantly coming back to this moment, constantly coming back to the motivation or the intention behind our thoughts, words, deeds. And so the first thing I want to start with here is, number one, to embrace the habit energy, okay? Do not fight habit energy. That's just the same thing coming in the back door. The habit of fighting. The moment somebody pulls in front of your car, you're ready. The moment somebody says something, like my experience being trolled, I'm ready. That's such a knee-jerk reaction. It is reactivity. So the first thing I want to start with and talk about is to embrace this habit energy. You see, it is our ability to practice, to bring love and compassion, even bring the sacred into each experience is very much us, but so is the habit energy. If you're going to fight habit energy, then you're fighting yourself. So every time we embrace our habit energy, we can help it, we can nourish it, coming back to the seed, we can enable it to transform. When we fight it, that's negative energy, and that's growing something else. You're not helping anything, you're fighting. So when we can nourish and embrace that, we can then help it to transform, even if just a little bit. Karma, which we often talk about, basically is habit. Karma, it is in our best interest to develop as many positive habits as we can. In the Mahanama Sutra, the Buddha said, just as oil rises to the top of a pot submerged in water, your virtue, your goodness, your faith, your generosity, your practice rise to the top. And that is what will carry you to the next destination, to the next moment. We bring mindfulness into the present experience, and we embrace the negative energy. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh is so loving. He's like, hello, my little negative energy. I know you are there. I am here for you. He actually says this out loud. Loves and nurtures, acknowledges, recognizes, allows it to be here. How radical is that? Our Western sensibilities, that's pretty out there. And so again, in true form, in the Buddhist practice, don't listen to me. Don't listen to Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh. Try it yourself and see what happens. When we bring love, compassion, a sense of nurturing, wholeness to what seems to be, in our own perception, in the way, a problem, and instead love it, transformation can then begin. Generating the energy of mindfulness, recognizing habit energy, embracing it, taking care of it, this is our practice. And the practice should be done in a very tender, very loving, very wholesome way. There should be no fighting, because when you fight, you then cultivate the habit energy of fighting. There we are again, we're ready. We can employ many different tools. Open up our little Dharma bag and open up and take out some wonderful tools that we can employ. I love, we have a number of wonderful and amazing recovery programs here at the temple. And one of the things that they talk about in AA is never keep it in the house. Do not keep it in the house. And so the reason why this, I'm going to call it proximity therapy, works is that because in the time that it takes to get dressed, get in the car, and drive to wherever the habit energy is taking you, you have had time to breathe. You have had time to put space around what it is you're experiencing. Awareness settles in. Reflection arises. And that's our practice, isn't it? It's no different. Whatever the habit energy is, put space around it. Explore, investigate with a playful, loving curiosity. And so we can employ some tools. There's only one piece of chocolate left. upstairs in my bedroom where I normally might watch some YouTube. So I'm sure it will be gone by this evening. I don't know if I'm going to toss it or eat it. But I am making a commitment to not bring more of that in. Now, obviously, this is a somewhat innocuous little habit energy. But remember, if you're in the habit of watering habit energy, it will grow. And those habits will grow. And they will foster and nurture other habits. And those habits may eventually turn into addictions. So we start working with the smaller, the little ones, as a way to practice, as a way to cultivate positive, mindful energy, which then moves out the negative habit energy. This also moves us or focuses us on what I call the second insight of each of the Noble Truths. Our practice, as we all know, the Four Noble Truths. Number one, no, don't worry, I'm not going to pop quiz anybody, but everybody's going, oh, this. Number one, there is a suffering aspect to life. Number two, that suffering aspect of life is there because of craving, because we crave. We crave sense pleasure of all kind, and we also crave avoidance of pain of any kind. Number three, there is a way out of this suffering. And number four, that is by following the Eightfold Noble Path. And so each one of the Four Noble Truths has important insights, 3 of them to each one of them. And this first insight is the insight into actually, it is the insight of experience. It is the understanding of, okay, this exists, all right? There is the, okay, intellectually I understand this, conceptually I understand this, okay, it's right there in black and white, got it, okay, that's the first insight, the knowing of the little k. The second insight, and the one I'm referring to, is experiential. It is what we often talk about in the Buddhist practice, direct experience. What is your direct experience? That's why when we can experience habit energy directly, we come to know what it feels like. It can only operate unconsciously in the shadows. Then we find ourselves reacting, grabbing that chocolate, watching YouTube till 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever, reacting to what somebody says. It's that reactivity. Direct experience means taking the time to become aware of it. And the third insight is the knowing with a capital K. In other words, it is the embodiment of compassion. You cannot help someone suffering from habit energy unless you have experienced it yourself. You cannot help another person who has experienced loss unless you have experienced it yourself. And how do we experience it? By being with it. Not cultivating our thoughts about it. No, being with it. As they say in the practice, sitting in the fire. What does loneliness feel like? If I turn off the TV, what arises that the TV was covering up? If I stop eating the chocolate, what arises that the chocolate was covering up? The habit energies are there to protect us from some pain. No. Go into the pain. Feel it. Experience it. Only then can you truly know what that pain is here to teach us. What is the lesson of it? What's in the way is the way. Our path, the Buddhist path, is a wisdom path. Wisdom is in the body. Our experience is in the body. It doesn't have anything to do with our thoughts about what we're experiencing, and it has nothing to do with our thoughts about the thoughts about what we're experiencing, which is usually where we go. Instead, let all of that go and be with what is present right now. And so in this way, we begin to transform this energy. Every time a negative energy is embraced with the energy of mindfulness, it is a little bit less. It loses a little bit of its strength and returns to a seed for some later trigger and another opportunity to practice. Every day we get opportunities to practice. We can employ all these different tools. We can use our ability to have insight. We can open to the experience in our bodies, experiencing both the wow and the ow of what this moment has brought for us. And in this way, we're not cultivating thinking about thinking. We're not cultivating blame or judgment. We're cultivating present moment experience, mindfulness. We're cultivating this moment. The Buddhist practice is based on the insight of non-duality. You are love. You are mindfulness. You are also the habit energy within you. And the meditation does not mean to transform yourself into a battlefield, fighting over the right experiences, the wrong experiences, fighting over the right transformations, the wrong transformations. No, it is about, we practice to get to the point where our emotional default is bodhicitta. Our emotional default is the awakened heart. Our emotional default is not anger because somebody didn't clean the meditation hall. It's not the quick knee jerk of who's bringing acorns in here. Somebody could step on that and hurt themselves. Why I oughta. No, the emotional default becomes joy. It becomes an intense fulfillment and gratitude. Everything becomes synchronicity. The universe is madly in love with us and wants us to wake up. And so it says, hey, here's an acorn, Victor. Have a great talk today. Thanks, universe. And when the habit energies arise, it's just an opportunity to transform. Nothing more, nothing less.
Let's take a moment to embody the teachings before we move into our loving kindness meditation. For loving kindness meditation or metta, please take an image of yourself in your mind's eye and say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at ease and happy. Conscious breath together. Next, let's take an image of the world in our mind's eye. all the plants, animals, and people. After that image is in your mind's eye, say to the world, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at ease and happy. I did the shorter version because of time. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. In the true spirit of dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, temple Buddhist services are given freely. In the same way that you choose to give, please give with a generous heart, not in return for something you have received, but so that others who may seek refuge in the Sangha may find it here in the temple. Thank you for all our wonderful volunteers, and thank you to our TBC ambassadors who have committed to regular electronic donations. It's not about the amount. The monthly giving helps to set a budget at TBC. If you would like to become an ambassador, just click on our website or text Unity Temple to 77977. Thank you to Victor for sharing your wisdom, and also to Christine for your beautiful music. Let us prepare now to close our service with the Bodhicitta dedication. May the pure, brilliant sun of Bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And with the hands together in front of our hearts, let us go forth from this place, entering each moment in innocence, guided by the wisdom of our hearts. Namaste, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, so much for sharing your heart and your presence and your practice with us today. A couple of brief announcements. There is, of course, the post-service discussion group, which will be meeting just out the doors to the left in the Heritage Room. It is also online, so folks joining us through the live stream may also participate. You can simply go to the Facebook page or the website and click on the post-service discussion group. Also, there's a big sale going on today. Our bookstore has got many items half off, and many items, selected items are half off, and then everything is 15% off. And I think the ladies have a table out front. Also, on the reception desk counter out front, you'll see a box out there for Lindsay. Many of you know Lindsay. She is our one of our youth and family directors, and often brings the kids out and they chant with us. Then she goes back and has some wonderful lessons with them. She just had her baby, and her baby was born, I think, like right on the day before the full moon. So I believe she named her Celine in honor of that. And so there's a little box out on there, and you can use your phone to scan the barcode, which takes you to her baby registry, or you could put a little something in the box to help her out. And so that's going on out there. Also, Wake Up Sangha is happening first and third, thank you. First and third Sundays at 1. And so that will not be this Sunday, it will be next Sunday. Wake Up Sangha is our young adults Sangha, 18 to 35. And the first Sunday of each month is our Helping Hands. So I think that will actually be next Sunday. is our Helping Hands Sunday, and that is where we have little bags that have socks and gloves and water, granola bars, tissues, things like that in them, and please take one with you. And as you encounter a person experiencing homelessness, you might have something that you can give to them and share that with them. Coming up also is our New Year's retreat, the 29th through the 1st. And so the theme is the fourth turning of the wheel, Buddhism and the Western practitioner. And so that registration is up and online and is ready and available. And then also, what was the other thing I was supposed to say? Oh, I covered everything. Awesome. That doesn't always happen. I usually leave something out. Again, thank you, everyone. And as you, what? Video Dharma? No, I'm not doing that. No, that has stopped. But thank you for there is Tai Chi Cha. There's an introductory class on Tai Chi Cha coming up here in about 3-4 weeks. I'll have that information out very soon. It is a wonderful contemplative movement practice to supplement your formal meditation practice. So again, thank you everyone. As you go into your day, I wish you peace and blessings and acorns.
Between 500 and 1,000. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, that's what he said. They have cells and stuff, so we're